Variety of guests and different areas of the trades every Tuesday. Today is no different. We have Brandon Muhaw, a painter and owner of Accents Painting and Drywall in the house, who'll be talking his business, painting, and the art of his craft. Before we get to the show, though, let's talk about some of the sponsors that help make this show possible. About Your House is brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store that's been serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience they offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. About Your House is also brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us as we spread a little love. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
And I can hear it all today. Wow. Welcome to another Tuesday morning here at the Toolbox in the podcast studio. I got Brandon Muhaw in studio today. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Well, good to see you. We're going to talk to Brandon, find out all about that. Might have a call in. You see we got headphones on. We're getting to where we want to be here at the Toolbox with the podcast. It's taken, what, 6-8 months now? Yeah, 8. We're into the August month. Where does time go? It flies by. It just seems like it was the holidays last week. It's amazing. At any rate, it's great to be here. We're going to talk about painting today, a subject that, well, everybody paints. I mean, you know, the quickest, easiest way to remodel or change a room, personality, and enhance, you know, give it a new life is to paint, right?
Yeah. And the funny thing is everybody thinks they can paint until they have a professional painter come in and do it.
Oh, painting is definitely something that, you know, we're going to talk a lot about that because painting's really easy once you know how. Mm-hmm. But there's an art to painting.
Yeah.
There's a methodology to painting, you know. And I love to paint. I think it's a lot of fun, but not before I knew how to paint. I showed you my old paintbrushes. I showed Brandon my old paintbrushes, and first thing he said, it's time to replace them.
Yeah.
You know, well, and he might think that, but see, me being, hey, that paintbrush I showed you painted this room.
Yeah.
It cut in this room, and I don't use blue tape.
I don't see any mistakes. Looks good.
Well, you're just not looking close enough. But there's a few here and there, but they're minimal. But I love to paint. We're going to talk to Brandon. We're going to talk a little bit about put tools in schools. You know, the school year is cranking up on us. You got any kids?
I do.
How many kids you got?
1, 18 months.
No, he can't paint yet.
Not yet.
No, but put a paintbrush in his hands when you can. I think that kids need connection with tools, and more so now than I've ever felt because of the impact that we've made. What in the past 7 years? We're in 2026. No, past 8 years now. Started the Put Tools in Schools campaign in 2018 as an awareness campaign. Mm-hmm. Put Tools in Schools, and everybody says, "Well, don't they have shop class?" Nope. Where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally, yeah.
Born and raised there?
Born and raised.
Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you go to school? Yeah, you said born and raised. Raised to where? To what age?
To 38, till I moved here in 2020.
Oh, wow. So you were born, raised, lived in Cleveland.
The same county. Every time I moved, I stayed in the same county.
Well, tell me about you. So you were born in Cleveland, went to school in Cleveland, Now, who could this be? Phone call. Excuse me, folks. We're going to take phone calls today, and so we might get interrupted. We're figuring that part out too, but hey, ignore it. At any rate, so you tell me about your childhood and what you got any siblings?
Yeah, I got one sister, 4 years younger than me. Still lives up in Cleveland with my mom. My dad passed away in 2022.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, we good close family. You know, grew up very normal. Went to school. I also went to vocational school in high school.
That's not normal in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which is crazy to me.
And how old are you?
I'm 44.
So you're 44.
Yes, sir.
So you went to the college era days. So when you're going to high school, you were going to college or something. Tell me about your experience in that.
So, yeah, I actually decided I just really didn't want to have to hire somebody to fix something simple in my house. And it was a good way to get out of high school because they would do half day at normal high school.
Golly, I wish we had that here.
It was great. And the other good part is our vocational school was attached to 6 other suburban high schools. So you got to meet a lot of other people from other cities that you probably normally wouldn't. And so, yeah, it was a 2-year program.
Father, what did he do?
He worked for the water department, Cleveland Water Department, for 38 years.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you had a great nuclear family, mother, father at home, and sister. And you grew up, like you said, normal, Beaver Cleaver style.
Yep.
And that's
Not the mistake in the lake, Cleveland. Yep.
I was about to say, he didn't work at the water department when they caught on fire, did he?
No, that was that was a special time. That was a special time in Cleveland.
Well, but so you grew up and went to vocational. When did you start that? What grade were you in when you started
It
that?
was my junior year, so it was 1999.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you, in vocational school, tell me, can you talk to me about that experience? Because
Yeah.
it's rare.
It's
that
one of
I
my
have-
favorite things.
That I have somebody your age coming here from Cleveland, never before, and tell me about a vocational
Yeah.
tech school in Cleveland that you went to. Tell me about that, if you would.
Yeah. So again, it was.
And this is what we need in Charlotte.
I would agree. I would. So yeah, again, it was a bunch of different suburbs. I think it was 6 of them, 6 different high schools. In your junior year, you would go from the half day mark. So once lunchtime hit,
Right.
you would stop doing your, STEM classes in your high school, and then you would bus over or drive over if you were old enough to the vocational school for the rest of the afternoon.
So you literally went to 2 schools.
Went to 2 schools.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And then your senior year, it reversed. So you would start in the morning and then, go back to school in the afternoon. And the great part was it was all construction trades. So they had, from my memory, construction trades, automotive, cosmetology class for a lot of the females.
Sure.
I think there was animal
So you
doctors.
had an array of CTE programs. I don't know what you called them back then. They probably called them vocational
Yes.
education,
Yeah.
which is what they should call them today. They go and mix us up with all these new acronyms. At any rate, so you were exposed to. Did you get to pick what you liked? How did that work?
Yeah, I picked construction because my grandfather, who also moved down here in the 80s for a couple of years to build homes in Charlotte, was in construction. It just kind of ran into my family, and I just kind of gravitated toward it. And like I said, I just didn't want to have to pay somebody to fix something in my house that I could do myself.
So your early years, you got out of high school. What'd you do?
So
you had a background in tools, and let me elaborate on that a little bit. That's exactly what we plan to accomplish here at the Toolbox. Exposure to kids, just the same scenario that kids can come in here and be exposed to paintbrushes, tools, carpentry tools, plumbing tools, electrical tools. Not only tools, but the connectivity of actually stripping the wires, making some connections, getting familiar with a certain trade, and seeing where their interests lie. And you did the same thing, but you had an array of menu items, so to speak.
Correct.
And you picked construction in the trade within the trades parameter. Was it based a lot on carpentry or just general?
So our quote-unquote senior project was, with the people you had in your class, you would pick a table of people.
Sure.
And then that was just kind of your crew for the whole 2 years.
Awesome.
And our senior project was building a modular home that completely worked. Electrical, plumbing, drywall, roofed, sided, the whole 9 yards. It was like a little clubhouse.
That's great, a little mini shed, but yet it had all the trades in it. That's like the shed building competition up in Wake County and what Connect for Success NC's doing.
Yeah.
Great programs. We need, and that's exactly what we need here in Charlotte. And on that note, we're in the process possibly of building a strategic partnership with CMS this year, which to me it's like been a long time coming, and I hope we can accomplish that because these kids need us. they really need the exposure to other pathways other than that 4-year degree. So you got out of high school.
Yeah.
And you were geared up and ready to go somewhere. Where'd you go?
Well, the good thing was that part of the program on our vocational
Right.
school was that in your senior year, the last, I think, couple semesters, you had to find a job in the industry. So on Monday, it was class day, but from Tuesday to Friday, you worked in that job. So not only am I getting real life experience, I'm actually getting paid for it.
Right out of high school.
In high school.
During high
in
school.
high school, correct. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so a couple people in our, I mean, I think our class is about 20, 25-ish people.
Right.
Half of us went to like actual like remodeling companies and, being laborers and things like that.
Sure.
And a lot of us went to a local lumber yard and worked in the lumber yard, and that's what I did.
Wow, what an experience. How long did you work there?
Actually, about 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right out of high school.
Right
So
out
you
of high school.
graduated, you had a job. What lumberyard, can I ask?
Yeah, it's not in business anymore, but it's called James Lumber.
I got you.
Yeah.
So it was in a local area lumberyard.
Yeah.
Cool. Family owned, probably.
Correct. Yep.
Wow.
2 locations.
And then what? At 4 years there, and you
So-
were, what, early 20s?
Yeah, so what happened after that was they got eminent domained to build a library in that space.
Right.
So the other location was just way too far away from me.
Right.
But the contacts I had made at the lumber yard with all the remodeling companies, stuff
Sure.
like that, I was able to jump
you
right
were-
into another job. So I actually got, to actually use my skills and, work on people's homes and things like that. So
So you got a really good, strong background in home improvement.
yeah, which again, we didn't even do painting at all. So the fact that I kind of slipped on a banana peel and did a backflip into painting is fun. But the greatest part about it is, the painting is the last part of all the projects usually.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah. So, but being able to know every step that went until you get to the painting part
Right.
is really beneficial to,
The methodology in construction, we call that project management.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But so you worked with home builders, and you said remodeler.
Yes.
Did you like remodeling?
I loved it. Yeah. I was actually part of my NARI chamber up in Cleveland as well.
Okay.
And when I came to Charlotte, I'm like, that's the first thing I'm going to join.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And so, all right, now, after did you stay with it? How many years did you stay with remodeling and what have you?
So I stayed with remodeling for a couple years. It's a grind. It's hard to do, but it's very self-rewarding. But a lot of people saw in me was my ability to talk to people, my salesmanship.
Your people skills.
My people skills. So even in the lumberyard where all my classmates were, just getting tickets and grabbing boards and, loading up cars, they pull me inside to run the counter, to do
Customer service.
and things like that.
Right.
So that's kind of where I got my feet wet and,
So your strengths were communication skills.
Yep, communication skills,
Now,
personal
what's the
skills.
hardest thing we do every day, Brandon?
Talk to people.
Communicate.
Yes.
And not necessarily you, but on the other side of the fence, they
Yes.
don't like to talk, do they?
Well,
Have you found that to be the case, seriously? As a business person, I found it more difficult to have a good, solid communication relationship with people than it ever has been.
I think the hardest part is just there's so many different personalities in the world. And, for you to, it's kind of like being like a chameleon. You know what I mean? Like, some people are more funny and, you could be more outgoing with. Some people are more straight laced and let's get to the point. And you just got to kind of gravitate to
Bob and weave and
Yeah.
stay in your lane and listen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what, but it's become harder because people don't talk.
They don't talk anymore. They text each other instead. Yeah.
Do you find that to be a situation in business now? People tend to gravitate to the technology more so than calls, personal phone calls.
Again, it depends on the person.
What
some
do you
people,
prefer as a businessman?
It all makes me money, so whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it.
So you're flexible. You
I'm
go
very
with the
flexible.
flow.
Yeah, I've
Well,
always
you would
had
have at 44. I can totally understand it because you grew up with technology.
Right. Yeah, I got to see everything from a corded phone all the way up to a supercomputer in your hand. And
How are you with technology?
it's getting away from me a little bit, and it's also because I've grown up in it. I try to gravitate away from it because you kind of see what it does, and yeah, I prefer the real connections. You're not getting that online.
Nope, you're not.
No.
All right, now I got to ask you another loaded
Please.
question because I love the intel here. What's your feelings about AI?
It can be a great tool, but the problem is it's just so powerful that, like, at what point does it just get away from you, right? It's like any tool that you put in your hands. If you know how to use it, it's great. But if you don't know what you're doing, and you cut your hand off, right?
Well, that's true with technology across the board. Technology to me is just, I mean, take this studio, for example. We've had some technical issues finding someone that knows the depth of the situation. But they're out there, and these career pathways around technology is absolutely amazing.
And one thing that I think is amazing too is that technology is taking away a lot of jobs. Right now we're at the point where, the trades, the building industry, like those robots or that technology does not exist yet. So there's such a big opening for people to jump into this industry and do something with it.
I firmly believe, with my experience, you'll never replace the human element.
I agree.
Never. There are jobs, excuse me, there are jobs, of course, that will be replaced by human element because they're technical jobs. They're with technology-based jobs, and they can be replaced by AI and other technologically advanced systems. But as far as who's going to fix the computer, who's going to make sure you've got power to power the computer and all the infrastructure around, oh, I've got to go use the restroom. Oh, I need plumber.
Smoke break.
Yeah. Yeah, all of the amenities to life are governed by the trades.
Yeah.
All of them.
And the thing is, too, people think technology, they think computers, phones, things like that. In construction, we used to hand saw things. Now you've got miter saws and electrical. So, I mean, technology can be good.
Technology is great to a degree. Of course, I'm old school. I grew up old school. And then I'm saying, I think we need to know more old school. Well, that's easy for me to say. But with today, to your point about technology and tools, and we're at the toolbox here, we're looking to educate these kids around safety and tool operation. Well, with today's technology, like you say, you don't even need a drop cord anymore to power your tools. I mean, although it's available, and I prefer power tools myself, plug in a shop scenario. But when you're out in the field now, you have battery technology that'll blow you away. And so why not go ahead and get that battery technology in your shop and have it? And that's where we're at. Now, and then who do you lean to in tools? Do you lean to this one or that one?
Right.
That's where we're at. So we're looking for support here at the Toolbox because we need a new 10-inch miters compound. I want a compound miter. I want 2 of them to teach kids. We're going to get them, and I've got 2 miter saws. Well, actually 3, but I can't use them because they don't have guards. See, I'm old school. We've got all the tools we need. We just don't have the ones that meet OSHA requirements of today. And instant stop, instant brake, safety tools.
Yeah.
And a new table saw that's got a safety thing on it that you can't cut your finger off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they've got the technology. Now, you pay for it, but it's out there in full force. But, okay, so your situation, here you are in your, mid to late 20s?
Yep.
Remodeling? Then where to?
So, again, just running to stores as kind of like, a low-level laborer / apprentice helper. I started going into Sherwin-Williams a lot and, just kind of developing a relationship with those guys and things like that. And kind of decided, I had a couple jobs that I just kind of turned me off of the industry, just, customer related and, job, especially up in Cleveland, the cold, being in the snow all the time. I'm like, I think I want to be in something with 4 walls and heating. So I decided to apply to a job at Sherwin-Williams back then. And kind of that's where my career really took off.
And how old were you?
Probably about 24, 25.
Oh, really? That early?
Yeah.
So you started to get into painting around 24, 25, springboarding off your remodeling
Correct.
career.
Which, again, it just helps knowing the steps that got you to this point. And, what are we working with here? Like, what kind of paints are we using here?
What you went through, and I've got to talk about this, is you went to college.
Basically.
right in high school, you started your college pathway, and you got into the career pathway of the trades, and you delved in this. You were customer service. You were on a lumber yard. Then you were remodeling. You're working with customers the whole time and communicate. Then you move into painting. And you all by just going into a paint store and having some interest in it.
Yeah, just learning,
expanding your resume.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that wasn't your intent. You were just curious about learning. And see how it works. Once you inspire someone, it doesn't have to be male, female. It can be black, white. I don't care. But once you plant those seeds, and here you are. Mm-hmm. You own your own. You're one of the owners of a paint company.
Correct.
And it all started at an early age just by virtue of being in the industry.
Just wanting to learn how to use my hands, how to fix things at home, how to, be my own man, basically.
And the whole time you were doing this, you were making money.
Correct.
And apparently you made enough money to make you happy.
Just to, pay the bills, keep the lights on, and, buy beers.
But you were happy.
Very.
And there's another thing we need to teach our children is to learn to find something that makes you happy and it gives you purpose.
Yeah.
Because you were customer service oriented the whole time,
mm-hmm.
right? So then you worked at the paint store.
Yes.
How'd that work out for you?
That went very well. And again, that was like my college without any tuition or having any loans outstanding. They paid me to go to college, basically. That's where I really learned how to read a P&L, how to run a business, how to manage people, how to manage inventory, all those things.
And Sherwin-Williams, did they send you to any schools or any training? You just learned it by virtue of working it every day?
Drinking through a fire hose and learning. It was like, and they used to say run it like as if it is your business.
Sure.
But the difference is I also have a $1 billion corporation behind me, so I can never really fail. I can just get fired.
The biggest paint industry on the planet, Sherwin-Williams.
Which is also globally headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio. So I went through like the Navy SEALs training of the paint stores.
Navy SEALs paint training. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. You're a great example. I'm glad I called you.
Same.
See, that's another advantage to me going to a NARI meeting, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. I realized at an early age that you can get a lot more done collectively than you can separately. Egos getting away, competitive. I don't feel there's a competitive nature in NARI, although you're in the room with what they so-call competitor. I've never looked at it that way.
Same.
There's plenty of work to go around for everyone. And if we're all good and show our professional side and our people side, we'll succeed at this.
And we all go through the same challenges too, so it's nice to have somebody like that camaraderie of like, hey, what'd you do with this problem? What'd you do with this customer? You have, a support group around you.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And you said you were in area up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
In what company? Sherwin-Williams?
No. One of the remodeling companies I was in, I don't think they exist anymore. It was Bennett Dover Remodelers.
I got you. But they still have the chapter in Cleveland?
I believe so, yeah. One of the friends of mine that I made working as a manager at Sherwin-Williams was actually the president for a little while, too.
Cool. That's great. Well, NARI's a great organization. I'd highly recommend. Well, you looked it up when you came to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And how long you been south in Charlotte?
5 years.
5 years. What brought you to Charlotte?
So my ex-wife worked for Sherwin-Williams as well. She was on the corporate side when Sherwin-Williams bought Valspar. Lowe's overnight became Sherwin-Williams' biggest customer. So she was brought down here to kind of handle that transition with all the other things going on. So
right. So Lowe's brought you to Charlotte, basically. When the Sherwin-Williams bought another paint manufacturer, Valspar.
They own a lot of things that you don't realize.
They own everything that you don't realize. Yeah. And we talked about that. I told you I had another painter in here yesterday, and we hit on that. And we've talked about it many times on the program about the painting. They own Purdy paintbrush. Mm-hmm. They own Minwax.
Krylon.
They own so much, mm-hmm. It's unreal. And I did not realize that Sherwin-Williams bought Valspar. Of course, I don't try to keep up with corporate America and the things they buy and switch around with each other and carry on. Mm-hmm. It's heavy duty right now. Lord have mercy. it's hard to keep up.
It
I had a
is.
conversation with somebody this morning about tools. You know, the tool market. You know, because we need tools here at the toolbox. And one kudos out to Klein Tools. Klein Tools is synonymous with the electrical, but now they've got plumbing tools, they've got carpentry tools, they've got tools. Klein Tools, been around a long time. And you know, but the landscape for tools has changed, just like every other industry, such as Sherwin-Williams.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we'd like to get Sherwin-Williams support here because we're not teaching our kids about the trades. You've heard me say that, 100 or so times? But not only that, we're not making available to those kids the possibilities like you had.
Yeah.
You're very fortunate to have had what your resources when you were coming through high school, which these kids today don't even know about. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't known about it, where would you be? You know, where would you be?
No idea.
And there's the clue right there. But you had it. Not only you had it, but those other 26 or so students had it, or hundreds of students had it.
Yeah.
And you saw it really work.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, people talk about, like you said, shop class, like as if like that's something that's going to give you those skills in the future. And you know, I don't remember anything from shop class, you know, except building like a little toolbox or a bird nest. But you know, you can go to Home Depot as a kid and go do the same thing. So, you know, it was really like shop class on steroids, trade school. It was wonderful.
Well, it's fun because tools are toys. And and you get excited to go into a workshop and have all these tools to play with. And, you know, and to me, it's a crying shame that they're not even exposed to it. I showed you earlier, we had small engine repair shop class last Saturday. And a 17-year-old young student, 17-year-old male, never held a ratchet in his hand.
Wow.
Yeah, and you say, wow, hard to believe, isn't it? But you know it's hard for me to believe. What's the number one thing you need to know if you're in the trades? The number one first thing you need to know.
What's the right tool for the job?
That's in there, but the number one thing you need to know. The number one, and you're taking it for granted. You have. He's not sure yet. You know, it's reading a tape measure.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Oh, absolutely.
Number one thing. But you know what? 90% of the kids coming out of high school and some of the teachers cannot read a tape measure.
I'm terrible at math, so when I try to do math, I do it in tape measure metrics. So quarters,
The
eighths.
connection.
Yeah.
The math connection to reading a tape measure is awesome. And once you get it, it won't ever go away. Mm-hmm. But yet kids don't know how to do it. And some kids are like, why do I need to know how to do that?
It's the best fractions you'll ever learn.
It's the best. You must. Matter of fact, I did a job. I might have talked about this last week, but I'm going to talk about it again. Last week, I had to go out and do an oven, take an oven out, raise it up to 1.25 inches, 1 3/4 inches, raise it, and then put the all the mechanisms back in it to install it. It's a microwave built in with a kit. Anyway, and the number one tool I used that day was my tape measure and a pencil. That is the number one, the most important tool I used all day. And without the tape measure reading and understanding the math, the centering, I got 5 1/4 on this side, I got 6 1/4 on this side because of the setbacks and all. And I know you don't understand what I'm saying. But the point is, without a tape measure, I couldn't have done that.
I did the same thing this weekend just to hang a picture wall with my wife.
Bingo. Bingo. Right there. So, but now, my goal, I want a tape measure manufacturer as a major sponsor to support and push tape measure reading in our schools. Because these kids must know tape measure reading to build a birdhouse at Lowe's or Home Depot.
I guarantee you'd learn more or use more tape measuring than you would fractions or algebra in your life.
Exactly. What's funny is Roosevelt Pitts, you met him here on the show, maybe you remember the show he was on, but he's part of the toolbox. And he came in here And I've taught him to read a tape measure because, and here's a great example of certificates. I got to go a little off center here. These certificates are out of control. You know what I mean when I say that? You go to these classes like I'm going to get certified.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get
Delta
certified in blueprint reading.
Yeah.
So you go to a class that's blueprint reading. And most of that class is online. And you might get an A in blueprint reading, but you come out of the class with an A and a certificate. But guess what you can't do? You can't read a blueprint. Mm-hmm. I say that to be a little off, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Now you've got certifications out here. When they come out with a certification, they still don't know what they're doing.
It's a resume buffer, in my opinion. I would never tell anybody not to go to college, but I would say really know what you want to do to go into that field. If you're just getting a degree to get a degree, and then once you're done and graduated and you have no idea what to do with it, and a lot of people are not even doing the industry that they went to college for.
90%.
It's crazy.
Of college grads across the board, 90% of the people who go to college, get a degree, come out of college, do not use that degree toward their profession and career pathway. It's a little skewed. I mean, I don't understand it. But then again, I don't think I'm supposed to.
We're just old men grumbling.
I'm not. I'm interested in the kids, their happiness.
Yeah.
Mental health. This is a mental health issue, and it's also a home improvement issue.
Yeah.
It's also a building and construction issue, because the quality of construction has come down unbelievably in the past 20 to 30 years.
I do upgrades in my own house because the builder did such a bad job.
And then
but I can do it, and I do it for free because I don't have to pay anybody.
Exactly. And you've got the background and knowledge to do it. Mm-hmm. Right. So you came to Charlotte, you were working with Sherwin-Williams?
Not at the time, no. I was working for an acoustical plaster company, which is a really crazy thing too. I've been in a lot of industries.
It sounds great, but they were all around
the construction. Yeah, I worked for Pella Windows. Always being in the industry somehow, and having those skills is even easier of a resume builder than most things.
Great example, man. I'm so glad you're here because you get to share your own experiences, and you all made money the whole time. And did you ever worry about a job?
Never. I still don't. God forbid my company crumbles tomorrow. I guarantee I'll be swooped up in a minute or two.
Look at this. See? Evidence, testimonial right here of how valuable a career in the trades are. And you certainly benefited from it tremendously. So how long did you work for Pella?
About a year and a half.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Did they send you to the plants and all that?
I did not get a chance to do that.
Oh, bummer.
But it was great because even in the high school lumberyard, we sold windows, we sold doors, we sold cabinets.
Absolutely.
So, I really got to, know a lot of every single thing you put in your home. And then from there, you get to dial it into what thing did I like the most.
Right. So you got an array of things to look back on.
Yep.
And now you're in the painting business.
I am.
So you moved to Charlotte, and you were working with who then?
Then it was the acoustical plaster company.
Acoustical plaster. Well, that's interesting in itself.
It's fascinating.
So
Yeah.
you moved here as an acoustical plaster sales?
Yeah.
So you were in the sales with acoustical plaster?
Correct.
Now, acoustical plaster predominantly in what market is that?
So it was all big time museums, airports.
I would guess with acoustical name.
Yeah.
For sound absorption.
Correct. Yeah. And they had a little sample of it upstairs in our warehouse. And when you stood under it, like it felt weird. Like your ears couldn't pop. You could hear your own heartbeat because there was no sound around you. It was very, very interesting product.
It was. And
Yeah.
very, very informative as far as what it was.
Yeah, and I got to visit a lot of sites like the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C., Meyer Gardens in Michigan. We did a couple projects in Florida, New York City, and I got to go visit these, and it is a really cool experience.
It sounds like it. You had a great career.
I had a very wild, great career.
It's super. Mm-hmm. Then you come to Charlotte. 4 years you've been here, right? Is that what you said?
Going on 6, yeah.
Going on 6
Going on
years.
6.
Okay. And brought you to your ex-wife brought you to Charlotte with
Correct.
When Valspar was consumed or eaten up by Sherwin-Williams, and come down here as an acoustical plaster company salesperson.
So because of the move, they tried something remote. It just didn't end up working out. So I got let go like right during COVID. So that's a big reason why there was no traveling to all those places I just mentioned. You know, you couldn't go meet with architects anymore. So it just kind of was one of those things where, you know, it wasn't working.
Just didn't work anymore. I got you. Then what? Surprise. I'm going to move to something else.
Yeah. So I spent 13 years at Sherwin-Williams, so I had a plethora of paint knowledge. Well, paint knowledge. I knew literally everything there is to know about paint. You know, again, being right at the mothership of the corporate company.
Right.
I got
no better company to learn from.
Right. Much more training than I think a lot of people around the country got. So what am I going to do with all this worthless paint knowledge? You know, I'm going to go work for a paint company. So I thought to myself, you know, I don't want to go back to the corporate world. It was great while it lasted, but you know, as you get older,
but there again, look at that experience.
I have options. I had all the options.
But you didn't like corporate America, and you wouldn't know it unless you worked in it.
Correct.
But once you work in it, you can make a choice. I like it or I don't.
Correct. It just wasn't for me.
And it sucks. That's been my
Your
overall,
words, not mine.
Well, but it's the overall consensus I hear from people who work in it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I'm not saying all corporate America is terrible.
No.
Just 95% of it.
I wouldn't have done it for over 10 years. Yeah. I wouldn't have done it over 10 years if I didn't love it. You know, it was a great...
Well, it took care of you.
Absolutely.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And look at the knowledge you got. Okay, so where'd you go paint?
So my whole... you know, career in paint had been selling the product to the painter, not knowing what they do. You know, knowing what they do.
Not a lot of application.
Well, no. Definitely, I knew application. It was how do you estimate? You know, like you know, you go into you come and buy my paint, but after you leave, like I don't know how you got that job. I don't know what you charged that customer to do this job.
Right.
I just care that you bought my paint. So I wanted to learn how to estimate. So I went and worked for CertaPro painters because I knew that. You know, if Sherwin-Williams ever had a paint company, it would be CertaPro because they're a franchise that's just very interlocked with Sherwin-Williams, and I knew that would be the easiest place for me to go immediately.
And you knew that as a result of working with Sherwin-Williams.
Correct.
So you went to work with CertaPro.
Correct.
Doing what?
Doing sales and estimating.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked there for about a year and a half. That's where I met my business partner, who was my project manager. So what would basically happen was I would get the estimate, I'd go there, measure, talk with the customer, tell them my qualifications, tell them what we're going to do and how we're going to do it and why we're doing it that way. And 9 times out of 10, I would get that sale. So I was one of their biggest salesmen they'd ever had in that company. And
to learn something from you, other people, not me, because I know where you're going. You know, I know what you did, which is what's the most important thing we do every day? Communicate. And you did that well.
Yes.
And believe me, that gives the customer peace of mind beyond your wildest dreams.
It instills a lot of trust.
It sure does. Not only that you're willing to share it because he knew what to share. Not only did he know the right things to say, he knew why. Your depth of knowledge.
You're educating your customer. You're not just giving them a price.
But you knew what to educate them on.
Correct.
You knew your business. You knew your craft, which I applaud you for. But look at the education. Go back and rewind this show and listen to it.
Well, I did want to be a history teacher if I didn't get in construction, so they kind of just merged weird.
History teacher. Yuck. But anyway, no, history's great. I mean, really, if you can teach it. And what I mean by that is they're taking the history away, too. They don't want you to know what happened. You might figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yep.
So, anyway. But so you work for CertaPro.
Yeah. So, again.
Here in this area.
In this area, yeah.
In this market.
Matthews, Waxhaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Marvin area.
Sure. Great demos.
Yeah. Yeah. So you kind of learn how to work with the, higher clientele customer.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Welcome to Charlotte.
Intricacies, yeah, the intricacies of working with people like that.
What'd you think of Charlotte? Coming
I
to
love
Charlotte,
Charlotte.
out of Cleveland.
It's a much bigger city than what I'm used to. It's also very weird to head north and not hit water and keep seeing land and city.
Right.
But yeah, I love the weather. That's the other thing too. I miss my home. I love Cleveland. I'll never say anything bad about it, but I ain't going back.
I hear you. Primarily because of the weather.
Weather is terrible. Yeah. But the food and the beer is, I don't know, maybe better than Charlotte.
Good. Food and beer is good everywhere.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's changed. On food, on the food and beer scene in Charlotte, there's plenty of beer, no craft. It's all this craft and the breweries and all this just blowed up. Although I don't like craft beer.
I was going to say it's not very good.
Well, no, some of it is. Some of it's great.
Well, I used to home brew, so I do like my craft beers.
I understand. It's a big thing, and I get it.
Yeah.
Give me a Yingling, and I'm good to go.
Yeah. The older I get, the less I care about the IPAs and all the crazy
okay.
designer beers, as my buddy calls them.
Right, designer. And you pay, and they're so darned expensive.
Yeah.
I just can't see it. I mean,
And the mornings hurt too.
well, that's part of it. I'm a beer drinker, and I got to reflect on something. I got to talk about something. You know who Bryan Adams is?
Oh, the singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bryan Adams' concert was Saturday night.
Okay.
And I bought 2 tickets here about 2 months ago because I love Bryan Adams. And, as far as he started singing and playing his style of music back in the 70s. And undoubtedly one of the best concerts I've ever attended to. Unbelievable. And I'll tell you why. Because the demographics, one was an older group, and his music's an older genre, of music. And it's somewhat popular across the board. But to have the Spectrum Center uptown, the arena, full of people, and everybody's singing every song. Everybody's singing every song was something else. Mm-hmm. And I've never been to a concert where you had that much engagement. And it was very special.
Oh, yeah?
I just want kudos. Woo, what a great concert.
Good.
And I don't go to that many anymore, but man, then I had great seats that I had no idea I bought. But when
That's a nice surprise.
I said, wow, I did good. So, it was a great concert. I just thought I'd share that. Bryan Adams concert Saturday night was just unbelievable. And by the way, we do have a phone line coming in here. It's 704-712-4644. It's my personal phone number. If you care to call and join in the show or add anything, feel free. 704-712-4644. And we are heard on Facebook, YouTube, on both About Your House Radio's page and Put Tools in Schools page. YouTube channels, same channels. Tune us in, like it, share it, subscribe. Just, give us some more followers. It'll help I don't know what it helps, but they say it helps. So, hey, help me. It's that simple. Just do it, please. Thank you. Also, you're on Instagram. Mm-hmm. What else?
AccentsPaintingCharlotte.com.
Got it.
Yep.
AccentsPainting.com.
CLT.com.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But let me talk about my sponsors like Queen City Home Store. Do your thing, Richton. Queen City Home Store. Been here since 1952. 1952, that's a long time. I know because I've been here that long.
Same age as you.
Yeah, same age as I am. There you go. Player family, been in this city doing great things. Just doing great things for the community, and we appreciate their support here on Put Tools in Schools as well, teaching kids how to cook, for example. Believe it or not much. Can you cook?
I do. I love cooking.
There you go. See, he learned the trades. If you can learn how to trade and use these, you're going to be able to cook. Another benefit of getting into the trades. So Queen City Home Store, check them out. They're queencityonline.com. Specials all the time. Check them out on the website. You can literally do shopping on the website. They've got a chat room. You can go in there and chat with somebody. Use technology to the fullest, and or give the corporate a call at 704-391-6000. 704-391-6000, queencityonline.com. And now let's talk about ABS Insulating. ABS Insulating, another old company in Charlotte, family, been established by Alan Hoppy and family. Great company, great service, people, great knowledge around insulating, air seal programs. They can help you get greater comfort in the dog days of summer. We're in the hottest month there is right now, August, most humid, hottest month of the year. And relating to that, talk about water, storms, afternoon thunderstorm. Have you got good water control in your gutters? ABS got a gutter division that will take care of your water issues when you're relating to gutters. Gutter protection, gutters themselves, replacement, maintenance, checking, downspouts. If it's got something to do with your gutters, ABS got you covered. So check them out online, absinsulating.com. Let's don't forget FCI, Floor Coverings International of Southeast Charlotte. Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, mobile showrooms. They bring the stuff to you. You can give them a call, check them out, yourflooringteam.com. You could call them, set up an appointment online, have them come out to your house, and give them some forethought. Tell them what you're leaning to, whether it's LVP, LVT, oak floors, engineered flooring, stair treads, custom bound carpets. If it's flooring, they can handle it. They've got you covered. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Don't pay attention to the name. I know it says Southeast Charlotte. It's just a name. They'll come to you no matter where you're at. Lincoln County, Gaston County, Rowan County, Lake Norman, Palisades. Doesn't matter. Indian Land. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, yourflooringteam.com. And Kilo Exterminating, another company, been around since 1939. Whoa. An institution here in Charlotte. That's Kilo Exterminating, one of the oldest pest control companies in Charlotte. And the reason why? Because they give great service. A company you can count on. You can have your own little guy, your technician, not little guy, could be a little woman for that matter. And it doesn't have to be little. He might be oversized. I don't know, but you'll have your own technician. Check them out. That's kilo.biz. You need pest control. Actually, this time of the year, the hottest, most humid month, I would have your crawl space checked out. And you say, well, do they check crawl spaces? Sure they do. They check for wood-destroying insects, wood-eating insects, carpenter ants, termites, and the array of others. That's kilo.biz. Check them out. And today we have Accents Painting and Drywall. How are you on drywall repair? How do you?
Not bad. Not bad. A lot of practice. That's the thing.
That's the key to drywall work.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah. Learning your knife skills and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sanding.
I love drywall. It's fun. I've done so much drywall.
But we are hiring.
Well, I'm not looking. I got plenty to keep me busy. But no, seriously, I love teaching drywall repair using 20, 90, 30, and not 30, 20, 90, 45. What other ones are there? I'm talking about the dry pat. The dry.
You got 25, 20, 45, and 90.
There you go. What we're talking about here is the powder form of drywall mud. You mix it up good and you put it on and it sets up according to the number of minutes. But the more humid and damp it is outside, the longer it takes to set up. But it's good stuff. Yeah. You can make short work. I never, ever did work. I owned a dryer vent company for 20 some odd years. And I never left home without quicksand.
You need it.
Every day. Practically. Okay, you worked with, going back to your story, you worked with CertaPro.
Correct.
That tuned you into the business side.
Yeah, how to estimate. What are we looking for? How long it's going to take to, do these rooms with a crew and things like that. The setup time, the point up time, the repair, things like that. Right. So what would happen is I go in, get the customer to sign on the dotted line, and once that was done, I would hand it off to my project manager, and he would make sure that the crew got done what was supposed to be done, be on site daily to make sure things are going well and the customer's happy and things like that. And I would just go get the next one and pass it along.
Gotcha. Painting colors. Did you have a format or a form, or how did you deal with selections?
So again, working in the industry as long as I have at Sherwin-Williams, helping people pick out colors, tint, paint, and things like that, I got to be pretty good with color selection. So I still to this day and did then do in-home color consultations.
Cool. That's why I was asking, because a lot of people want a decorator and all this. And I understand that. I truly do. Colors are very important.
I tell most people that I might not be able to pick out throw pillows or fabrics and lampshades and stuff like that, but I'll put my test to any interior designer on wall color any day.
You work with designers?
I love working with designers, yeah, because I feel that we have the same thing.
I can.
Going on.
I could understand that.
And I think that they like the trust they have in me that not only are we just gonna go do a good paint job for them, but I know what the family is, how many kids they have, do they have animals, things like that. Like, what paint are we putting on that wall to make sure that they're sick of the color before they actually need to repaint?
Right, I got you. Awesome. Well, so you got good with customers and paint issues.
Just working in the stores with them all day. Customer walks in, picks out a color chip, and starts asking my opinion on things, and you got to know what you're saying.
It helps, that's for sure. So, what's the hardest part? You got it down, though. You don't have a hardest part.
Helping people see your vision because you do it every day. I think that's the hardest part. Now, we were talking about technology earlier. Which has helped a lot is using like ChatGPT, for instance, taking a picture and telling it what you're envisioning to show somebody else. Yeah.
Well, see, back when I asked you the question, do you like AI? Here's an application that really works.
Yeah. Like I said, like with any good tool, it's got its good purposes, but it could also be bad too. The problem is you stop using critical thinking skills because you can just go get the answer.
You gotta weigh the pros and cons.
What's the critical thinking? What is that? And I bring it up very sarcastically because there's your freedom. There's your freedom. When you learn to use critical thinking skills that God gave you and not replace it with technology or a screen or something artificial or not man-made, you're losing critical thinking skills that there's nothing that takes place of that. And you have them because you were raised with them. And you hit the nail on the head about critical thinking. That AI, that's what concerns me enormously about artificial intelligence, and has for some time, because Google was in fact AI. It's just an early version.
Correct.
That's all it was. So we've been using AI all along in Google and other apps. We just didn't recognize it as being that. But now it's gotten to where you can talk to your screen, and it'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Yeah. And that's why, I still use it to double check myself, the gut check, because I don't know everything, but I've got a pretty good idea of how I can get there.
Sure.
And then I just use it to double check if I was right, or did I, miss something. So, it does got its good applications, but you can't rely on it wholly.
It pops up wrong. I've heard in the past week stories about it being wrong. Gut wrong. So I wouldn't rely on it specifically.
Use it as a tool, not a crutch.
Well, I don't know how to use it as a tool yet. Although I know that I probably should go down that path, but I'm a little reluctant, only because I don't know why.
I was the same way, but again, if you can just restrain yourself and use it when you need it, not every time.
Sure. I got it. So you work with CertaPro, and then when did you make the big decision?
So,
because you've only been here 6 years.
Yeah, and we've been in business for 4. So this will be our 4th year. February will be our 5th. But what had happened is I do a lot of networking. So, that's when I joined CertaPro. One of the caveats of being a salesperson is you had to join a networking group. And the more that I networked, I liked it because, I came here on an island by myself. I have no friends, no family. So I almost use it as a social thing. So during that networking, I met with somebody who said, hey, I know a guy who's looking to retire, wants to sell his paint company, but he wants to sell it to the right person. So I met with the gentleman. His name was Rick Carter. He owned Accents Painting for 25 years.
I'll be doggone, Rick Carter.
Yeah.
Rick Carter, no wonder. Oh, I know Rick very well. He's been on this show 2 or 3 times.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
So you bought Rick's business.
I did. It took 18 holes of golf to talk him into it. Yeah.
Didn't even dawn on me.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know Rick very well.
Yeah. He basically interviewed
He was a big member of NARI for many years.
He interviewed me to buy his company. And,
Right.
you know, I guess he felt comfortable enough to say yes.
Oh, Rick's a great guy.
Absolutely.
Great
yeah.
guy.
We still talk a lot. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Well, I'll be dog. How about that?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to just
Small
throw
world.
that out there, but Rick Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he was a great guy. I remember him very well. I can see his face. Big fella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. He wanted to make sure that the name kept going, and I told him I'm going to do that, and here we are.
Super.
Yeah.
So you made the leap. You bought Rick's company, Accents Painting. And now I recognize the name.
Yeah.
You changed the logo, though,
We
didn't
did, yeah.
Yeah, you updated a little bit.
Yeah. I wanted to make it mine,
sure,
too, right?
sure.
And, you know, the first year was interesting because I was really relying on his past book of business to, like, keep us afloat. But, you know, we had to, you know, ground root it the whole time. So all the networking groups that I was in, I was able to keep us afloat. And
What networking group's your favorite?
well, NARI now, yeah, but CRG is really good, Carolina Referral Group.
Right.
I like that a lot. I was part of BNI for a long time. BNI
Right.
it's a great institution, but it's expensive, and
To me, it was corporate America.
it's exactly what I felt. Yeah.
I
And
just
especially the fact that the Charlotte chapter or the whole thing is built or based in Charlotte. So I was the president of my chapter, and sometimes I'd have 4 to 5 corporate people just sitting in my meetings. I'm like, you know, this doesn't feel organic anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
And the other problem is too that with the, you know, in some industries, you know, having one specific seat of a realtor, of a insurance person, of this, of that, and you know, you're not allowed to have the competition like in NARI. You know, it's more of a shotgun approach. You know, who knows somebody needs something painted,
The
right?
business model doesn't fit your demographics, really.
Exactly. So I needed something to hone in, and that's when I decided to drop off one and you know, go into NARI, because again, we don't do just drywall repair. We fully install drywall. So from studs to the end of the project, we are on site.
Gotcha. So you do drywall projects. Is what I'm
Drywall
hearing.
projects, absolutely.
Well, let's back up and punt here. What do you do?
So we do painting, drywall, wallpaper installation and removal, popcorn ceiling removal, cabinet painting, light handyman work, you know, some of the things that the bigger guys don't want to do. And all of that is because of my history. Like, I know how to do it, you know, as long as you know a guy who can do it, because, you know, I can't be everywhere at once doing all these big projects. You know, I've got a lot of things that I got to do, but, you know, getting to know some people that do it and you can get them work, you know, it's cylindrical. So there's really not much we don't do, but I don't do really big projects like GCs or like, you know, kitchen and bathroom remodels and things like that. But, you know, if we need, you know, we're painting a room and you need
Well,
a
you've
ceiling
got a
fan
network
installed.
you can pull from if you need
Correct.
that too. But that's the beautiful thing about being in NARI. You say NARI, I say NARI. How's that?
Yeah, that's me. That's my northern voice.
No. Yeah, we have a lot of people come down from up north and say NARI.
Yeah.
No, it's NARI here. But it's okay.
Which is is there a correct pronunciation?
Well, if you're in Cleveland, it's NARI.
Okay.
If you're in
gotcha.
Charlotte, it's NARI.
Gotcha.
That's just that simple. Nair, hair, nar,
It's like
far.
Florida and Florida.
Florida.
Milk
yeah.
and milk.
Orange.
Yeah. Keep talking, guys. Yeah.
Tomato.
But seriously, you say what's right. It depends on what part of the country you're in.
Yeah. And the other thing I would strongly say about networking is that, you know, you never know who you're going to meet, who's going to help you, where your life's going to go next because of all that networking. I find it very funny that like I said, I lived in Cleveland for 38 years. I had my, you know, bubble of friends and things like that. But in 5 to 6 years of living in Charlotte, I probably have more contacts and people than I did in 38 years up in Cleveland.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I probably
that's
know more
awesome.
people down here in a shorter amount of time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's been pretty good to you.
it
Charlotte's a
has
great
been.
city.
It
in,
is.
in so many ways, but then it's blowing up out of control.
Well, that's good for our industry, though.
Okay.
Just not the traffic.
Just going from here to, I mean, where do you live?
Monroe,
Oh, 28110.
28112.
Okay.
I'm almost into Wingate.
I hear you. That's why I said it, because I knew if you had another one, you were not in Monroe proper.
Mm-hmm.
So you're almost in Wingate.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you come to Charlotte every day.
Almost, yeah.
That's a big one now. It's getting worse every day, isn't it?
It's not fun. Yeah, I try to schedule my days that make sense to leave.
What took you to Wingate, if I might ask?
My wife. So she's originally from
wives
Marshville.
do that sometimes.
Yeah.
So she's originally from Marshville.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
we have 10 acres out there of farmland.
Oh,
yeah.
enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said.
The
Yep.
land,
Oh yeah.
10
space.
acres.
I love it.
Was your house built, or did you?
So right now, yeah, we plan on building on that land one day, but right now we just live in a community.
I got you.
My
Gotcha.
first ever HOA.
Oh, so
Never
you
again.
live in a community, but you own 10 acres.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, she does. Yeah.
Well,
It's
she does.
in her
Well, it
family.
comes with- I got you. So you got 10 acres of family land out in
Yeah.
the Marshville area?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Great country.
Yeah.
I rode through there 2 weeks ago. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I can't wait to homestead, farm, eat my own food, all that.
Yeah, you going to have more kids?
Probably not.
So one's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You ought to have two so they can grow the garden together. But that's just me.
grow
Yeah.
a garden.
Together. Well, no, I'm kid. Kids love growing gardens,
Yeah.
man. Homesteading.
It's just not
You know,
something I thought about when I
remember
think
the-
of two kids could be growing a garden. But
remember the File kids, Eric File and
Yeah, I
boy
remember.
coming
Yeah.
here. What was his name? The young man,
Steady. Yeah, I don't
17-year-old guy.
I know who you're talking about.
He came in here. Well, you met Eric.
I know them very well, huh? Yeah.
know Eric
I've
and
met his
Sarah.
kids. Yeah.
They're
Great. I actually saw them yesterday.
a great
Yeah,
family
they're fam.
in homesteading, and those kids know everything. And the son that jumped into the remodeling business and or the trades, basically. Great story, great family, and I'm just tickled to death where you're headed.
Yeah. I hope my son does the same.
That's awesome. But okay, so your Accents Painting and Drywall took
Yeah.
Rick Carter's place. Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's good. And we're talking about networking here too, and the benefits of networking. I went to a NARI meeting 3 weeks ago, and that's where I met him. And I happened, and the fact of the matter is, when I go to NARI meetings and talk to people such as yourself, you can immediately tell their passion, their interest, and I felt that in you, the energy.
Thank you.
Well, that's why you're here. And see, so all I have to do is go to NARI meetings and meet people.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I have to go rub shoulders and try to gain more customers and keep my guys busy. And
How's NARI helped you in business?
it's
Has it helped
absolutely
you much?
changed it. It's made
Really?
it. Oh, absolutely, yeah. So the biggest thing that me and my business partner talked about from the get-go was not running before we crawl. We started off year one just painting.
Right.
Then year two, we started going a little bit more into wallpaper installation because we started meeting some installers and things like that. And then, slowly growing to the drywall side. And, you got to learn from your mistakes. If you go all in right away,
It's the only way you learn.
the only way you learn. Yeah.
You got to mess up to learn.
But-
what we got to do is give our kids the opportunity to mess up.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So you messed up a few times.
Messed up quite a few times, yeah. But I never put it all on black, right? You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you slow crawl it, learn from those mistakes, never make them again, you can expand more. So, and that's what we did. We kept adding services because we, slowly did it.
Right. Are you having a hard time finding labor? Are you lucky there?
Honestly, no, we're not. We're actually having a lot of people contact us, which is
Good.
a blessing. And, it makes me very proud that people are searching us out because we must have a good name. It's funny. Me and my business partner talk about this all the time. His name is Carlo. We say that, we're in the trenches every day. So everything's stress. Everything's terrible. And, this day is terrible. But if you really take the 30-foot view out and look down what you've accomplished over those 4 years and, how far you've come and how much you've grown. And it's pretty crazy. It doesn't even feel real.
I get it. This building here, 3 years ago, you couldn't get from almost the middle of the building to the back door. Now it's totally different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally embrace what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it feels good, doesn't it?
Feels great. Yeah.
You
So
know.
we're not having
It's all relative.
a real bad. We're actually having a lot of people call us to work with us.
Good.
And we just, we have enough work for our guys, but I would love for the opportunity one day to have be able to help those people feed their families too.
Yep. Well, that's what it's about. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to ask you about a specific job.
Yeah.
What I call them textured ceilings. You call them popcorn.
Yeah.
But I hate the word popcorn because popcorn's real big.
Well, I've never seen popcorn ceilings till I moved down here. We had texture ceilings up there with the 8-inch flower.
Okay, yeah, you had embossed basically textured ceilings. I got you. That's different. Do you find that removing textured ceilings is one of the messiest jobs y'all do?
It's pretty bad, yeah. But the good news is, again, being in the industry that I've been in, and you know, the best part about working in the stores of all the places I've worked at is some of the tools you find out that exist. Some of the secret stuff that you like. You walk into a Sherwin-Williams, you walk into a Lowe's, like you don't know that there's other things out there. Sure. So we use like dustless sanding, Festool.
Sure.
So
great tool.
Yeah,
expensive, but they're great tools.
But it's worth its money, you know.
Yeah, what it does.
And especially if you mess something up in somebody's house, and you know it costs 10 times the amount of that machine, it's worth it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Tools are absolutely essential in any profession. And the more you know about what's available to you in the tool world, the better off you are, because the tools they have now, gee whiz. I got that box from Klein yesterday.
Yeah.
There's stuff in there I didn't know existed.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
I've heard people tell me horror stories of them removing popcorn or textured ceilings. And
I've removed quite a bit.
yeah, like I would never do it that way.
I did a video on painting this ceiling.
Yeah.
It's gotten up to 12,000 views or something like that.
I assume you didn't brush and roll it.
I rolled it, but
there's
an art to rolling a textured ceiling.
because it'll peel right off.
Of course,
that's your most viewed video on
That's
YouTube.
my most viewed. No, you go one direction and you stop, pick it up, go next to it, and come on back. You can't go over it and then come back over it. You can't do it. There's a way to do it. Well, you see it. It didn't come off.
I'd rather spray it, but that's just me.
Well, no, you're right. You're right. I can't argue with that. I'm not saying what I did perfect, but it's a way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, but once it's painted, you can roll it every day.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
And that's the problem. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, and they go to do their own DIY home project, run up to Lowe's, grab some paint, and come home and just do it. You made a bigger mess than you thought. If
you don't know what you're doing painting a textured ceiling, you better not tackle it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's a lot of home projects, Like, you just think it's going to be an easy thing, and 4 or 5 hours later and 3 trips to Home Depot.
I told a guy, I mentor some kids, or if you're below 50, you're a kid to me. Yes, you're a kid.
All right.
Okay, but you've come a long way, brother.
I'll take it.
You really have. You're way above the curve, But he called me one day and he says, man, I just spent 8 hours doing this, doing that to a handrail when I could have. I don't know what I've got to do to finish it. I said, well, you screwed up to start with. He sent me pictures. He says, why? You didn't call me. I said, I could have cut 4 hours from that job if you would have just called me. I said, they got a product called Zinsser 123. Mm-hmm. It's amazing what it does, and it could have helped you today like you wouldn't believe, And Hard Rock Putty.
Yeah.
And I said, I could have saved you a half a day. He says, well, you're right. I could have called you. Now I get a call from him about every other day. He shows me what he's doing.
Yeah.
He called me the other day, sent me a picture. This is great technology stuff, too. Mm-hmm. He sends me a picture of a 3-way switch, a dimmer. He says, which one goes where? And I told him. He says, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah. And that is nice, too. Like, I mean, just from the vocational background that I have, that, like, my wife didn't like the how bright the LED was in the shower.
Right.
So I just popped in a dimmer like that, and, happy wife, happy life. Took me 10 minutes.
Women love a man with a tool belt. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm serious. You just don't know how many points. Get handy, man. Get handy. Or write a check to me or him or whoever. I love checks. They're fun. I use mobile deposit. Don't even have to go to the bank. Works great.
There's your technology.
Yes, that's right. But so you're a happy boy.
I love what I honestly pinch myself sometimes that I cannot believe this is where I landed.
How many jobs you got going on at one time?
It can be anywhere between 4 to 7. Yeah,
really?
We're busy because we're working with a lot of the contractors in Nari. Yeah, we have our own just previous customers, a lot of word of mouth.
Great.
New customers. Yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're going to have to expand and start hiring like salespeople because I can only be so many places and do so many things by myself.
Well, don't get too big too fast. Of course, I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure you and Carlo talked about that.
Yeah.
Because, man, you can get buried, and that ain't good sometimes.
Correct.
Your mouth tends to overload your butt sometimes.
Yes.
It does, and that's a typical man thing.
Yeah. I can do it all. Yep.
Yeah, I can do it. Well, you can talk it, I know, but can you walk it?
Right.
And I'm not saying you can or can't, but that's what happens in some service businesses. We all go through that as a learning curve. So, whoa, back up. We're in over our heads. And sometimes I've seen people and said, you need to slow down. They said, why? Man, it's great. It'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
And it's like a snowball. It just gets bigger. And I probably made every mistake you can make in business through the years.
And that's exactly why I wanted to slowly add those services instead of just let's do everything now.
That's awesome. That's great. What's the best paintbrush to buy?
Ooh, depends on the paint you're using, honestly.
Great answer.
Yeah, because
see, you know paint.
I do know paint. I know paint brushes, the filaments on them. Yeah.
All right. When's a synthetic brush useful?
Usually, a lot of the hybrids now.
So you use hybrid.
Oh,
What's a hybrid?
So it's
Talk to people about paint.
So a hybrid would be the alkyd acrylics. So a lot of paint in the past on the trims and doors was oil based. It was all the rage, but the problem with it is over time it yellows, so you don't have that
big time
white anymore. Even if you pull out of the same can that you painted with it 10 years ago, you're going to have a more yellow look to it.
It ain't going to match.
And it becomes brittle over time, and it'll crack and things like that. So that's why everybody went to latexes. But the problem is if you put a latex right over an oil, take your fingernail and you can scrape it right back off again. And you're just going to cause a bigger problem. So the new acrylic alkyds have the dry time and the washability, like, dump it in water as opposed to mineral spirits. So it dries quicker, but it adheres to oils better than just latex alone.
I used some of it 2 weeks ago on that cabinet. I had the oil raised thing. Mm-hmm. I had to match the cabinets.
Yeah.
And with technology, I went to Lowe's because I knew Lowe's had Sherwin-Williams, and I knew it would be a Sherwin-Williams product. Mm-hmm. So I went to Lowe's to see. Actually, I was experimenting. When I went in, I said, we're going to see how they handle this. So I went in, and they matched the color really well. I was dealing with a very, very picky client, which is fine with me. I love picky. But when I was done, I taped it off and masked it and all that, painted it with a good paintbrush, synthetic. Mm-hmm. And she came in there and she said, man, that's perfect. And I said, I love it.
Yeah.
Bingo. I mean, you get that word out of somebody's mouth, you've done it. So that's it.
And that's one big thing, too, to know. Like, when I go into a person's house and I'm, looking at their room, it's very important for me to look at that trim, to touch it, to feel it, to make sure if that's oil-based, we got to do something completely different. You know what I mean? If it's already latex, and we're painting over paint. So it's very important to know those kind of things.
Very important to know those things, and most people don't. Mm-hmm. I would even hire a consultant, someone who knows painting very well, even if it's from the paint store, to come over and look at your situation. Would that be beneficial to a homeowner?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the good thing about Sherwin-Williams is that they do things like that. We have sales reps that, if I have a question that I don't know, I can call them in and they'll come look at it with me. And, I've got that peace of mind that, something goes wrong, wasn't all on me. So I had help.
Well, you got support.
Correct.
See, that's another thing you need to find in the service industry, such as electrical, plumbing, HVAC, painting, drywall work, whatever. You need to check out the resources in the background of the company you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I believe that anyway, because in this day and time, stupid has become a serious disease, and they tend to tell you what you want to hear.
And the other big problem, too.
Am I right or wrong?
I agree.
Really? I'm not trying to put people down, but gee whiz, why you think we do what we do?
And when you really think about it, and that's a big reason why I use Sherwin-Williams still, not only because I know the products, but I know who will stand behind it and help me. Like if Benjamin Moore, don't get me wrong, it's a phenomenal paint.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is they're distributors. So, they're not sold by Benjamin Moore stores. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So if you have a problem, like who's going to help you? Same with Behr and Lowe's or in Home Depot. Like there's no Behr store. They just sell their paint in Home Depot.
Right.
Home Depot, how much are they really going to help you? They don't have dedicated paint salespeople or dedicated, help.
And that's why you pay substantially less for Behr paints. And Valspar. Valspar even a name anymore.
Yeah, they still kept it. Yeah.
They still kept the name. And I like Valspar paints, really. And it's a good paint for a little less money.
Right.
Now coverage. Do you ever do a job just one coat?
Never.
You heard it. Never.
Yeah. And this whole paint and primer in one thing.
No, that's
what a
sales gimmick.
What a gimmick.
That's the sales gimmick.
Yeah.
That's bunk.
And I have customers that ask me, like, how much would you charge me?
BS.
Yeah. They say, will the price be less if you just do one coat? And I said, I won't do that because you don't get uniform sheen, you don't get the true color, and you also won't get the durability.
No, it don't work.
Yeah, it's important.
And if you think you can buy paint covering one coat, you don't know what you're doing, and you shouldn't be there doing it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem too. I think in the industry, or if anybody that wants to go into business for themselves or whatever, is making sure that you know that you're going to have competition out there, but are they really your competition?
Exactly.
Sometimes people are just want to go with a price.
Sure.
So if that's the person that you're going to be working for, then it's not my customer. Yeah.
No, it's not. Well, I'll say this, that and also to add to the two coats, some jobs, correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to take three coats.
Absolutely. Yeah, the darker the color, the less coverage you're going to get.
Right.
It also depends on when was the last time the room was painted. If it was painted a year ago, you're going to get a lot better coverage. If it was painted 20 years ago, those walls are thirsty. It's going to suck right in. So you're going to be doing a little bit more painting.
Yep. And it's required but for quality, for your for your quality of painting.
Yeah.
And it's going to take three coats. And what colors are sold to change because of the painting market. In other words, they come out with new colors.
Oh, yeah.
They're not new colors.
No.
They've just got different names.
Yes.
They're the same colors they had 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They're just different names.
Yeah, and they throw a different number on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Confuse you.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about being from Cleveland and Sherwin-Williams is that you know all the inside baseball.
Right. But am I right or wrong?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And it's all about sales.
Yeah. And that's why they come out with new products that are really just relabeled because it makes the investors feel like, oh, they're doing all these new things. Nothing's changed.
Right. They're selling paint. And how many colors can you have? I mean,
there's a lot.
Well, I know that, but it's
and they're
all
just
about,
a touch off.
Yeah, and it's all about pigments.
Yes.
Colors you put in the paint. You can make any color you want. It doesn't even have to be on a chart. You can keep adding what you want till you get what you got, and then that works.
Yeah, yeah. And that was the funniest part is just you've got a line full of people ready to get their paint tinted and wrung out, and you got one lady that's looking at 20 different off whites and being like, which one would you choose? It's like they really all look the same, and I promise you, in 3 months when it's already on the wall and the project's done, you won't remember what the other colors looked like.
And we call that OCD.
Yeah.
And they're out there, aren't they?
They're out there.
And that's your hardest customer, up front anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can't make up their mind.
They sometimes get the Pete attacks. Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price goes up a little bit.
I hear you. That's real right there.
If we're being honest on this podcast.
No, absolutely. Got to be honest. Well, we deal with people. It's a people business. Mm-hmm. Without our customers, you got nothing.
Yeah, that's one thing I think really differentiates me with my competition is that I answer my phone. You have a question, I'm there. You're paying for my knowledge. You're paying for my service, not just the paint job. Like I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to make sure nothing goes wrong, and if it does, we're going to fix it for you.
Sure, I got you. We've talked all this painting talk today, but we haven't gone outside. Y'all do exteriors?
Absolutely. Yeah. If paint goes on something, we do it.
If you got paint on your house, you do it. Right?
Correct.
Do you always pressure wash?
Always. 99% of paint failure is due to poor prep. You can't paint over dirt. And you have to use a cleaning solution. You can't take a shower and not use shampoo or soap, right?
That's pretty much, well, some do, but
Yeah.
it would be better if they use a little soap.
Agreed.
At least even use soap as shampoo. But use soap.
But yeah, you have to clean the surface before you paint it, 100%.
That's a biggie that most people think they can just go out and paint over surfaces. You should never paint over dirt. Never. And you do small fascia board repairs and that sort of thing?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So you do minor home maintenance,
Yes.
you might say.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I try to make everything under one umbrella for my customer, so they're not bouncing around with other people.
I hear you.
But also makes it easier on me. You know, if I've got a job scheduled, but we're waiting on their repairman to finish things, like that throws off my whole week or month or whatever.
Right.
You know, so I try to make it easy for my customer. Like, you hire us, we'll take care of everything. You sit back and relax.
Painting, the paint, exterior paints. Are there good, better, best, or what?
There's good, better, best in interior and exterior
Do you
paint.
sell it that way? Or
Yeah, I mean, we only use the best paints.
that's what I was feeling. You
Yeah.
ever paint vinyl siding?
You can, but you got to be careful. You have to use a vinyl safe color, which basically means they don't put black tint into it to darken it. They use blue tint because it just grabs the sun and starts warping all the vinyl. I've seen some pretty nasty.
That's why I asked, because
Yeah.
I was just curious if you, being your background with Sherwin-Williams and everything, you've probably seen all the issues.
Oh yeah, and that's what I think really helps me when I go on site.
Definitely. It's helped you today.
Yeah.
man. You've been a plethora of information.
Yeah.
Much deeper than I ever expected. And that's because Sherwin-Williams ought to have a sign up here. They really should, because this show's been about the Sherwin-Williams show today.
I'll make a call for you.
Yeah, well, I wish you would. The guy yesterday said he would, so that's two.
Okay.
If we could get 2 painters in 1 week to Sherwin-Williams, that'd be great. But seriously,
Yeah.
you know, there's need for support for our youth, because these kids need to know how to paint.
I would strongly recommend going and working for Sherwin-Williams. You know, even just part time. Like, you do learn a lot, and you know, you never know where that's going to take you. You know, I've had a lot of my own employees get stolen from me and go actual paint for companies. And you know, I can't control what they make. It's at the corporate level,
Right.
and they're making a lot more actually applying the paint. But the painters trust those guys because they've gone through the training. They know
Sure.
what they're supposed to be doing. You can teach somebody how to actually apply the paint, but to know where it's going on, how it's supposed to be prepared, and things like that. Those are huge.
Yeah. And that can create failure in your paint job, believe it or not. The number one thing I've seen through the years is what you've alluded to. If you're painting over old oil paint surfaces, enamel or semi-gloss or whatever, you must prep that surface.
Correct.
If you don't prep that surface, it's not going to adhere well.
Yeah, it's like you're almost painting on ice.
Yeah, for sure. I'll never forget when I came back from Florida back in 1982, I painted some pea green wooden cabinets, but I didn't take the time to prep them. And it literally, you go up there and peel it off with your fingernail, three, you know. Now, they do make a product called Zinsser 123. Sherwin-Williams probably owns that too.
They
no,
don't.
They don't own Zinsser.
No.
Okay, cool. But if you prep, sand, and put a coat of that on as a primer, you're going to get much better results.
Yeah. I personally think that oil-based primers adhere way better than any latex ever will.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But you can put latex over oil. You can't go the other way. That's a
Right.
huge thing that people get wrong.
Right. I get it. Well, it's been interesting.
I'm a very big paint nerd.
Well, you're in the paint business.
Yeah.
And what I really honor about what you've done here through your education, you've springboarded off of your experiences in the industry. Mm-hmm. And now you're here. Here you are at 44 years old, part owner. Are you part owner or you own it?
Part owner.
You're part owner of a painting company that you bought from another painter, Rick Carter, and now here you're taking it your way. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to be doing what I do.
Right.
And I get to be home with my family instead of, working for somebody else all day.
And there's another benefit to learning the trades. Mm-hmm. Your work, he's his own boss,
Yeah.
Entrepreneur spirit. And that is, what else would you like to tell people out there? Anything? You've thrown a lot of stuff out there
Yeah.
today. Been a very informative show about painting.
Yeah.
I never expected this.
Yeah, I just ask anybody if they have a home project or there's something that they want me to take a look at for them. Even if I'm not the right customer, it's very important to me that I educate them. Like even if you don't pick me as a painter, make sure they're doing this. I just don't want anybody to get, bamboozled because somebody's, a painter. And there's a lot of those people out there, and I saw that a lot in the '08 crash. Where somebody lost their job, they painted a couple rooms in their house, so they're a painter now, and it's not like that.
Well, I know this, and I do know what I'm talking about here. You've got so much strength as far as your background and knowledge that you don't have a lot of competition as far as sales goes.
Yeah.
Because you have the ability to communicate, educate, and inform people the right way.
Yeah.
That's worth more money.
And and that's what I feel humbles me, is that I don't even look at it that way.
Because you learn it and take it for granted.
I just care about people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows, and that's great. It's just like our sponsors, like Kilo.biz. They're a great pest control company located here in Charlotte since 1939. Give them a call if you're looking for a great pest control company. One they'll give you a number and you can call your technician directly when there's a problem, like an infestation of ants, ants being one of the largest complaints in the pest control industry. That's Kilo.biz, ABS insulation for comfort, open cell, closed cell insulation, spray foam insulation, and great products. Whether it be bad insulation or blown-in attic insulation, give them a call. Have them come out and assess your situation. See what they can do to your attic to minimize your power bill, give you greater comfort, make that AC work a lot less hard. And something I mention quite frequently, especially during the summer months, is attic encapsulation. Attic encapsulation with open cell spray foam, incredible improvement to your home, cutting your attic heat down, your attic heat during the summer months down from about 140, 150 down to no higher than 80 degrees. Think of the savings you'll save on that air conditioning. It's amazing. Give them a call, check it out. And don't forget their gutter division, absinsulating.com. And now let's move on to Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Another NARI member, by the way. Yep, they'll bring the showroom to you. You're talking about great painting knowledge today. Well, Floor Coverings International provides that kind of knowledge around floor coverings, be it engineered flooring, oak, hardwood of any kind, be it walnut, maple. It doesn't matter if you're looking for hardwoods. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Go online, yourflooringteam.com. And if it has something to do with furnishing, furniture, appliances, bedding, media, TVs, sound bars, whatever the case may be. If it's in your home, typically Queen City Home Stores got you covered. Queen City Home Stores with locations throughout North and South Carolina. 704-391-6000 if you're looking to talk to someone. If you're looking to buy, purchase, you might check them out online. QueenCityOnline.com. Specials all the time right there online. And you can literally do your shopping no matter where you're at online with a chat. Or, like I said, corporate number 704-391-6000. Online, QueenCityOnline.com. And today's show, we had Accents Painting and Drywall. And speaking of drywall, I got to throw this out there. Mm-hmm. How are you at patching popcorn ceilings? Do you do that?
We can, yeah, but you got to temper expectations. A lot of customers on a lot of things that this ain't going to look original, but it'll look better than it does now.
Yeah, but you've got some guys that can do it better than other guys.
Absolutely. I
know I'm one of those guys I have perfected the art of patching. Sounds like I'm an ego freak. No, I just know what I can do well. Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of practice. I got a hopper gun right out there.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, they sell these spray foam things. Don't ever do that.
No.
Yeah.
The spray cans on texture paint, don't do it. Don't do it. Find somebody who knows what they're doing and can. That's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen some just total crazy repair jobs with that spray can.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but you can patch them.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
I mean,
great.
I personally rather remove them because, you know,
For sure.
there's just a lot of issues with them that you could just
It's horrible.
nip in the bud because you never know when another one's going to pop up, a leak, whatever.
I agree.
It'd be easier to just get rid of it now.
I had a policy, if we came in to remodel a kitchen or a great room or some big room, I told them, SOP, standard operational procedure, you will not have this texture sealing when we leave your house. Oh, you're going to take it down? What if I don't want to? Well, it's standard in my projects. Yeah, you'll pay for it, but you'll be happy we did.
Yeah.
And they always say, man, I'm so glad I did this, because normally we put a lighting package in. So you're going to be cutting it up, patching it and stuff anyway.
I learned a really funny thing when I moved here, talking to a customer who built their house originally with the popcorn, and they said that it was considered an upgrade back in the day.
It was.
Which is crazy to me because it's
Stupid.
so much cheaper to apply popcorn than it is to actually just make a flat ceiling, because they only go level 1 taping and
Exactly.
they just hide everything with the popcorn.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a cost cutting measure, actually, a savings.
100%.
Yep. It hasn't got anything to do with upgrade, believe
No,
me.
it's a big downgrade.
I hate it. I just can't stand textures.
It really hamstrings anything you can do, you know?
Oh, it does.
You can't, it's hard to paint, you know, cobwebs love to connect to it. Yeah, you
I
get
know
one little
very
water
well.
leak, it's game over.
Yep. Or if you know how to fix them, I mean, you can see right there here in the studio here. Excuse me, folks, I'm pointing up here. But that you can see where there was a wall there or something over a period of time, and they came in and I didn't do that. That was done previous to me. And you can tell, can't you?
Oh, 100%. You can see the borders of the drywall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bad job. Not bad. I've seen worse, but then I've seen better too. But anyway, yeah, I'm a bit critical, as you are. Gotta
Yeah,
be.
it's kind of one of those things. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's right.
Yeah, I go into like not even people like customers' homes. Like I'll just go into like regular places, like a restaurant, and be like, "Oh, this is a terrible paint job."
Quality has diminished significantly over the past 2 decades, 20 years.
And that's why it's really great to work with people that want quality, that expect quality, because those are my customers. Those are the people that I want to work with, that appreciate what you're doing.
Well, I will give Accents Painting a referral on the next question I embark upon about a good painter.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
This
that.
has been a great show. I've enjoyed it.
Same.
Is there anything else you want to kick out before we say goodbye?
We did recently start offering 0% financing as well, up to
Oh, you got
$25,000.
finance.
Yeah, through U.S. Bank. So, I mean, sometimes projects can get a little expensive, so it's important to, not dip into the vacation fund for things if you can pay it off, in a year and, be able to do both.
I hear you.
And you can hire us to paint while you're on vacation, come home to a new house.
Gotcha. And how do they get in touch with you?
So you can call me directly. My cell phone is 704-254-4147. Or you can go online to accentspaintingclt.com.
Accentspaintingclt.com. Accents Painting CLT. I guess that's Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How about that? And you, next week we might take a vacation day. We might not, depending here on About Your House. Mr. Richard Cunningham, a board op, he's going on a little trip. We might be on for a short while. I might give you some updates on Put Tools in Schools. What do you think of what we're doing here?
I love it. I actually really want to talk about getting involved too. Because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for people like you.
Well, let me tell you this, based on what you just said. We're having Trades Career Days coming up. And I've been hoping, and I'm going to tell this story, in April 4th of 2019, we had a big Saturday event at Titan Solar. They're gone now. That location's no longer there. At any rate, that's beside the point. We had a good Trades Career Day where 20 companies showed up. And we had a painter, Sal's Painting. He really wanted, his wife was a teacher, and she saw the value in hands-on engaging students. So he came out that day, set up a wall, and one kid came out. We didn't have great attendance from the public because Saturdays are sports days. Let's get our kids to the soccer fields, t-ball, football. Oh my. Anyway, so we had one young 13-year-old, I believe, came with his mother, and he wouldn't let go of a paintbrush. He would not. She said, she called me that afternoon, and she says, Mr. Terry, I want to thank you for having that event today because I'm aware of what my son loves. And I had no idea he wanted to be a painter. And I don't think he did until today.
Mm-hmm.
Said he came and he learned to caulk, use a caulking gun, got to paint. She said he absolutely wants to be a painter now. So that's a great example of we need to expose these kids to painting.
I'd agree.
I mean, it is an art. It's a way to create beauty in things in a home.
Yeah.
And not only that, the painter that was here yesterday, he's an artist as well. So he paints murals.
Mm-hmm.
So what it could do is expand his creativity and imagination to the point of a great income and a great, happy, successful career.
Yeah. I mean, even wallpaper hanging, that's become like a dying art. Venetian plaster has become a dying art. But a lot of interior designers are now recommending it, and there's nobody that knows how to do it anymore.
Well, wallpaper hanging's when I got out of construction early on, I never got out totally because I merely left a company when I was 22 and figured out where am I going, what am I going to do, because I was superintendent. At 22 years old, who's going to hire a 22-year-old superintendent? Well, not many people, and plus I didn't want to go get a job working for a bigger construction company again because I just left one that went belly up.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't leave a great impression with me because they were doing great and then they didn't do great, and it was simply because a big corporate chemical company came in and bought a construction company. How did that work? Not too good. But anyway, so it bellied up, so I went out, and guess what I picked to do because I could do it? Hang wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was a superintendent, I would go down and hang wallpaper with Tommy and Hubert Watson, which coincidentally, I called a guy on a irrigation guy, and his father was Tommy. And I said, do you realize your father taught me how to hang wallpaper?
Wow.
He said, you're kidding. So God bless his soul, he's no longer with us, but him and his brother both hung. Well, they taught me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to go in and hang wallpaper because I was good at it. I was pretty good at anything I did, but, and I did it. I told this story yesterday to that painter. I said, I hung wallpaper in 2 bathrooms first week. I said, no, not for me, because bathrooms are brutal.
Yeah.
They're hard. The hardest room to wallpaper is a bathroom.
I tell a lot of my customers when I started Sherwin-Williams in 2004, they had in-stock wallpaper.
Yes.
But we were throwing away in droves in the dumpster. Just,
Sure.
I mean.
Oh, it left.
It left.
At
and now
one
it's
time,
back.
it just literally left.
Now it's back big time.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
I picked up on that here recently.
That's one of our biggest upsells because just nobody does it anymore.
Wow, so it's coming back strong.
Coming back real strong.
Wallpaper hanging is pretty simple, actually, but it is tedious.
It is, yeah. You have to have an eye for detail and pattern repeats and things.
Yeah, patterns are big, big time.
And the patterns are only getting crazier, and that's why, wallpaper is becoming popular.
Right.
Where it didn't used to be so, intricate.
Well, it's just like every other trade, like ceramic and porcelain tiles and mosaics and this new niche. Glass tile, it's just exploded. Mm-hmm. What you can get in your home now is just off the charts.
Yeah.
And, so the availability is something else. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's show about your house. Go on YouTube Live. We're broadcasting live every Tuesday. We download the show. Used to be on Fox Sports Charlotte. That's gone by the byway. Radio's not what it once was, and we're not either. So every Tuesday we do the live show here called About Your House. Hope you tune in, like us, subscribe, and we help our algorithms and get out there more. We're going to develop a new podcast. It's going to be Tool Talk here at the Toolbox with students, teachers, and people such as yourself. Great guest today,
Thank you.
Brandon.
It's been an honor.
I really appreciate your. How many podcasts have you done?
This will be my second.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You're a good speaker. You're good. You represent the trades real well, and I honor that.
Glad.
And you're a great example and testimonial to what the trade education in high schools really put out.
Yeah, I really hope people follow my steps because, again, I pinch myself every day that this is where I landed.
That's great. You're doing great. And if you see Rick again, tell him Ray Terry says hi.
I will.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And folks, we're going to wrap it up for today. Like I say, tune in every Tuesday, live show, or go on YouTube and like us, subscribe, and check us out. And we'll talk to you probably next week for a few minutes and bring you up to date on Put Tools to Schools. A lot of activities. School's back in session, coming in. We're in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system, about 140,000 students. Hopefully we'll be in at least some schools next year, getting in touch, engaging kids with hands-on activities around the tools and the trades, promoting those as successful, happy career pathways. Thank you once again, Brandon. I appreciate it. And thank you, folks, for listening. And thank you, Riston. We'll see you all next week, next time, right here on About